She was laughing with blood in her teeth, and I swear her eyes weren't blinking. I will never forget that Sunday. I was 13, sitting 2 rows behind her at church. You know how people always say that couple is goals. That was what everyone said about her and her husband. They never missed service. She wore the biggest hat, always smiling. He opened the car door for her every time, but that day changed everything. It started small. She stood up during testimony time, same way she always did. Every month, like clockwork, she would thank God for her sweet and loving husband, call him a gift from heaven. He would sit there with his arm around her, nodding. We all thought they were blessed, but this time she didn't speak right way, just stood there frozen. People thought maybe she was overcome with joy, or maybe the spirit. People started clapping, encouraging her, shouting glory and go ahead my sister. Then she laughed loud, too loud. Not the kind of laugh you hear when someone's happy. It sounded broken, shaky, like it was trying to cover something else. That's when we saw the blood. Her teeth were stained red, not like she was coughing or bit her lip. Her gums were bleeding, but she was still smiling, still laughing. The room got quiet real fast. Her husband stood up, rushed to her, whispered something. She flinched, and just like that, she dropped the mic and walked out slowly. Everyone just watched. Her heels click on the tiles like gunshot. Coin, coin, coin. Later that night, my mom and I were coming back from evening prayers when we saw her again. She was barefoot, standing in front of her gate. Her clothes were dirty, face swollen, eyes far away. My mom tried to talk to her. She didn't answer, just whispered, "He says I belong to him even if I die." That was the last time we saw her. Some say she moved, others said she went mad and was taken away. But I remember her laugh and the blood. And now every time someone smiles too wide in church, I wonder what they are hiding behind their teeth. People stopped talking about her after a while. That's how things go around here. First it is gossip, then whispers, then silence. But I couldn't stop thinking about her. Her smiles, that bleeding mouth, that weird too long laugh that didn't belong in the church. About a year later, something happened that made it all feel worse. One of the church ushers, an older woman who used to sit with the pastor's wife, pulled me aside after midweek service. I thought she was going to scold me for dozing off during prayers, but no. She said, "That woman you saw, the one with the blood, you remember her, right?" I nodded. Of course I remember. She leaned in real close and said something that stuck with me ever since. She came to me 2 days before that Sunday, said she was afraid she would kill him in his sleep. Said she was hearing voices, not evil spirits, no, just her own voice, telling her to fight back, to smile through it, and then take her revenge quietly. She said she was tired of dying every day without a funeral. That phrase hit me hard. Dying every day without a funeral? The usher said she told the woman to pray, to forgive, to submit, that God hates divorce, that wives must endure. Now she wasn't so sure she gave the right advice. I still walk past their old compound sometimes. It is empty, overgrown weeds, broken gates. People say the husband left town. Nobody knows where he went. Some say she finally snapped. Others say she took poison, or that she's in a facility somewhere, singing hymns backward and scratching her arms. But me, I think she survived. I think she found a way out. Sometimes I imagine her in a small quiet place far away. No makeup, no church hats, no fake smiles, just peace. But every time someone says, "You never know what goes on behind closed door," I feel sick, because I do know. I saw her bleeding, smiles, and I still hear that laugh when I close my eyes. I never told anyone this, but sometimes I wonder what would have happened if one person asked her the right question. Not "How is your husband?" Not "You two look good together," but maybe something like "Are you okay?" Not the fake version of "okay" we ask in passing. The real one. The one that demands the truth, because everyone saw the signs. We just didn't want to believe them. Her eyes never smiled, even when her mouth did. She flinched when people touched her suddenly. She never stayed behind to talk after service, always rushed to the car like she was being timed. But we all pretended not to see it. We were more comfortable with the fantasy, perfect couple, godly home, than with the truth. The day after she disappeared, the pastor preached about the dangers of rebellion in marriage. He didn't mention her name, but we all knew. I sat there, stomach turning, while he quoted verses about submission and carrying your cross. And in the front row, her seat was empty. Her husband sat alone, looking smug like he won. But if you ask me, he didn't win anything. Because if you have ever heard someone laugh with blood in their teeth, you would know they weren't broken. They were becoming something else. something free, something dangerous. So yeah, I guess this is more of a memory than a warning. But if you ever see someone smiling too hard, clapping too loud, loving too perfectly, look a little closer. You might just see the cracks forming behind their eyes. And if they ever laugh like she did, don't wait until they disappear to care, because by then the story is already over. And trust me, you don't want to be in the next chapter.